In this guide, we are going to explore the path in order to obtain these impossible weapons. Let's explore the first part of this flowchart. We start researching atmospheric analysis. We are unlocking the Phoenix archives. Completing this important research,
Randall Symes was the last leader of the Phoenix Project.
we are unlocking the location of the Symes retreat. We had to play this mission in a Synedrion haven, and after completing this mission, we are unlocking the location of new sites. In this case, Frozen, Rise by Sin, by Virtue Fall, and Prisoner of Ice. Just by visiting Rise by Sin,
In his essays, my great-grandfather recounts the story of the Earth.
we are unlocking Project Glory. Even easier, if we activate 2 additional Phoenix bases, we are unlocking also Project Glory without Symes Retreat. And researching Project Glory, we are revealing the location for saving Helena. If we visit this haven without minimum 24 reputation with New Jericho, we had to start the mission and fight. The goal of this mission is to reach the location of Dr. Helena and, talking to her, convince her to leave this New Jericho haven with us. With enough reputation, we don't need to fight, and we can ask Wes to release Dr. Helena.
Decades were needed to get to this point. The old Phoenix Project didn't...
In both cases, we obtain access to the antediluvian archaeology research. The other path of obtaining antediluvian archaeology research and skipping saving Helena is visiting
In his
Rising
essay,
by
my
Sin.
great-grandfather recounts.
Also,
In 2022,
Frozen,
a group of researchers investigated.
and successfully completing Prisoner of
The
Ice.
Phoenix Project clashed with an unknown intelligence outfit.
We get access to a new research, in this case, Pandora virus. And after finishing it,
There had always been rumors that maybe the Pandora virus
we
was
get
converted.
the location of Time Vault in North America. We visit this
The
location,
writings of my great-grandfather
We
recount
retrieve
his mission to Oglethorpe
the
University
documents.
and the town.
With these documents, we get access to antediluvian archaeology without saving Helena. And this is the second and final part of the flowchart. The moment you get this archaeology lab, you can manufacture the probes from the geoscape or from manufacturing panel in here. You select the aircraft, and then in range you can deploy this probe. After launching several probes and finishing the scanning, we can check the result. In this case, we can click on Launch Archaeology Probe, and we reveal these circles, and within these circles we can search for this icon. The next step is visiting this ruin and exploring the ancient ruins. We need a manned aircraft for that. In this case, we are sending soldiers, and after completing the excavation, we can deploy and start the mission. In these missions, we are fighting 2 different enemies. Hoplites, and they had a lot of immunities, and also Cyclops. also with many immunities and extra abilities like self-restore. Something important, the Ancient Guardians start with 10 will points the moment they are awakened, but every turn they add 5 will, and their will is their speed, so it's important to reveal and destroy as soon as possible. The second hint is about destroying hoplites while other hoplites are in range 7 tiles, because doing that we are increasing the wheel instantly in the Phoenix turn. On top of that, triggering self-restore. The hoplites around are obtaining pieces from the fallen hoplite. For the first mission, we don't know about it because we are not obtaining this information, but self-restore will next turn increase the strength with new pieces. And another tip, don't try to engage Cyclops before destroying many hoplites, because otherwise the damage is reduced. After killing every guardian, we obtain the reward. In this case, living crystal, and this living crystal is instantly available. We don't need the lapidary, we don't need refineries in Terraform the Void. And also one research is unlocked and is Ancient Automata. This will allow to daze these guardians in the next Ancient Ruins. In Terraform the Void we had only 6 locations for Ancient Ruins instead of 12 from Vanilla, 2 for Protean Mutane, 2 for Living Crystal and 2 for Oricolchem, and we can check the already taken under control Ancient Ruins in the Phoenix bases in this panel on the bottom to the right. After researching Ancient Automata, we now had to research exotic materials. After a recent update of the mod, now researching Ancient Automata will reveal more information, very important for the mission. And hovering over this Cyclops damage resistance at 50%, we can see the mechanics and we can check also the current resistance. And after researching exotic materials, we start with the final part of the path, impossible weapons. We had to play this mission, Grand Theft Auto, GTA, and we obtained also a new research because we had under control the Living Crystal site. We can research Living Crystal analysis. In GTA we face a large number of enemies. There are 2 different enemies, New Jericho, Heaven Defenders and Pandorans, and they will fight each other, including us. If we had a speedy vehicle, we can try to reach the console as soon as possible. The console is located inside this building because we need to activate this console in order to take control of the armadillo. We can move the vehicle close enough and any soldier can activate the objective. Doing this, now we had access to this armadillo, and in here we had the schemata that we need to manufacture impossible weapons. Now, ideally, if we had priest class, we can mind control a hostile, in this case with jet jump, and this guy will do the job for us. Now we take control. We don't enter the vehicle. We take control of this armadillo and we need to evac. And now we can manufacture these weapons, but before we need to research the weapons. And you can read this lore. This is a small tribute to the developers of the game. Jules, of course, is Julian. So now, after researching these impossible weapons you want to manufacture, and you think, okay, I need 75 living crystal and 85 materials. I had both. I had materials, I had living crystal. Why I can't manufacture? Because you need to research living crystal analysis. It's the same for the protean mutant, but it's not required an analysis for orichalcum. We take control of the other ancient ruins and we obtain the exotic materials, in this case the protean mutant, and this way we can manufacture the weapons. In this case, because we had the protean mutant and living crystal, we can manufacture, for example, sargan, but we need to complete living crystal analysis and protean mutant analysis in the first place. And doing this, not only we are unlocking the ability to manufacture impossible weapons, but also a new mission only available in Terror from the Void. Yeah, we play a mission defending the Cyclops, so we can reactivate the broken Cyclops with a cost and protect the beast. Now in 8 hours we defend the Cyclops with hoplites. We don't need aircrafts in this site because we are defending the locals, the Cyclops, using these ancient guardians. We take the control of the Cyclops and also the hoplites. Of course, every turn they increase from +5 the speed, so starting the mission is better to not engage and wait because we are facing many enemies. And if we succeed to this mission, we are obtaining the access to Byrophase weapons, so we don't need to travel to Antarctica. Digitize my dreams, the Cyclops said. And now we had access to Byrophase weapons after researching also Uguthian entity. This is an alternative path to science path reaching to Antarctica. In this mode we can't extract exotic resources. Instead we can set the value of the amount of resources from the 6 different locations in these settings. For every difficulty level we had different values, but also we can tweak these values. For legend we have 100%, meaning we can manufacture 1 unit of every impossible weapons. We know there are 6 different. Also in these settings, if we are not happy with the reworked impossible weapons, we can set this off and revert to the old behavior ancient weapons as vanilla. In this screenshot we can check the stats and also the resources required to manufacture these impossible weapons. This is coming from the Wikipedia. The impossible weapons don't require ammunition, so we save resources, we save slots. And in the case of this shotgun, it's an impossible shotgun. We had the same amount of damage but with piercing, so indeed we are inflicting more damage than Iconoclast. Hardware remains the best shotgun, but the effective range is only 10 and the ammo capacity is low, while the shotgun has this effective range 13. And the psychic is 1 per hit, and the burst is 12, so for AP we can decrease the will of the enemy. 24 will points is very impressive. Because the high damage, we can destroy the head, decrease the will, and panic in the same turn. In the same way, we can destroy the pure clarity head, disable mind control immunity, panic in the same turn, and mind control, spending 0 will points for that. Rebuke is the impossible grenade launcher, is focusing on fire. It's only 20, while the purification grenade is 40, but the blast is 90, very good. Because the Goliath is focusing on shredding with only 60 blast. And if we can attack a group of enemies with low armor or shred in the first place, we can deal a lot of damage. Also, we can deny paths thanks to fire. This special grenade launcher can benefit also from the heavy class ability, Boom Blast, attacking twice in the very same turn. And in this case it's very interesting because we know Arthron Triton with Touch by the Void can trigger Umbra on death, but with fire, if they are suffering fire, they will not. So we can attack these characters, preventing Umbra because they are on fire. If we spot groups of enemies, this ability Boom Blast will allow to destroy many limbs, in the case of humans with very low armor, for example. Scorpion is a very unique sniper rifle, damage is not very high, 140, similar to Raven with 130, and the Pyroface sniper rifle will inflict more damage against Pandorans and Forsaken only. But the Scorpion, with this very good effect in range, has this ability. Obstacles, limbs can't stop the projectiles. So, in fact, will inflict all this damage, 140, minus armor, against every enemy, every limb in the line of fire. Scorpion will allow going through obstacles and inflicting full damage to the characters behind. And because obstacles or limbs can't stop projectiles, we in fact can destroy the shield and destroy different body parts behind. This ability, if we can align the shot with different enemies in the very same line of fire, will allow to inflict full damage to different enemies, to different body parts in the very same shot. Usually Overwatch is tricky, many obstacles in the way, we can't foresee the movement of the enemy, but for Scorpion it's not a problem destroying obstacles, going through and inflicting full damage. Scyther is the impossible two-handed melee weapon. It's important because it won't benefit from Adrenaline Rush, and the damage is 180, similar to 160 from the other melee weapons inflicted, so damage, but the important ability here is bleeding. Scyther is very interesting destroying limbs and also inflicting a lot of bleeding. In the case of Acheron, is losing the arm, so can't attack. And for a Berserker with Killer Instinct ability, that means next turn will attack for free and probably will destroy the enemy in the very same turn. In the same way, attacking Sirens will destroy so many limbs that this Siren is useless. The Reaper is the impossible one-handed melee weapon and can be used when Adrenaline Rush in order to inflict more damage, but also, thanks to the Vampiric 80, we can recover hit points, that amount per attack. Damage is not very high, it is 110, while other melee weapons are inflicting 160, but is inflicting damage and recovering health in the same turn. When a character is taking damage, suffering, decreasing the hit points, we want to protect, we want to heal, But in the case of this tool, the Reaper, we can do that attacking. So attacking will recover hit points and also can benefit from Killer Instinct. Crystal Crossbow is the impossible silent crossbow. Every crossbow is silent, indeed, and is inflicting 60 damage. It's the same as the regular Synedrion heroes, and is inflicting more damage than the Psych, but not damage over time, like poison. So the real deal here is the effective range 41 and the piercing 40. So mid to late game, when we are facing Sirens, Chirons, Arthron, very armored enemies, we can inflict more regular damage in the very same turn. Crystal Crossbow can benefit from surprise attack, and because the piercing is 40, can inflict a lot of damage to enemies even with good armor.